All right, so with the 101st running of the 500 coming up this Sunday, I guess today would probably be or tonight would be the best night to give a brief preview on what to expect. So I guess I'll just kind of just get right into it. So again, we'll gloss over some of the guys in the starting grid because I don't think really not everybody on the starting grid is worth going after. But I'll go. I'll start off with the 11th row and then just kind of work my way up to the first row. Um, Starting 33rd is going to be James Davison, who is the replacement for Bourdais. I don't really think there's much to really talk about Davison, but obviously I think regarding Bourdais, I think there is.
Yeah, he's gonna be. So what? He has like a fractured pelvis, if I remember
Yeah,
right.
he's done for the year. That's it for the year. He's done.
Yeah. So
I'm a little disappointed that they chose Davison. I was kind of expecting either Ryan Briscoe or EJ Viso.
yeah, EJ Visa would have been fun because he always makes like crazy moves. Or
Usually
well,
the
he did.
detriment to himself or to the other drivers.
Yeah.
It's okay. We have Takuma Sato for that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, that worries me. Where's Takuma Sato? Where did he
Oh,
qualify? Like third?
yeah, he's in the. I think he's in either fourth or fifth. We'll work our way up.
Okay. Yeah.
But at least like if I had to say anything about Bourdais, I mean, very well could have been on the pole. This is definitely a good car Davison's going to have. Maybe he can work his way to the top 15, but I think without as skilled of a driver as Bourdais, I think the Dale Coyne Racing Team really doesn't have much to look forward to for the rest of the year.
Well, no, I don't even think his car is going to be that good because Bourdais crashed on qualifying day, so this car has like 1 day of practice on it in comparison to everyone else who has like over a week, and then qualifying. So I mean, I don't think it's going to be nearly as good as Bourdais' car. Or maybe I don't know, maybe it is, but I really doubt that. Because it took them about a week to prepare Well, I mean, a week of practice time to prepare Bourdais' qualifying, run, whereas this car has like almost nothing on it. So, I'm not expecting anything out of that team.
My expectation was because I think he does have Dale Coyne is coming in with better cars this time around.
Yeah,
That was kind
that's
of my
true,
assumption.
but I don't know. Like a backup car that hasn't even been field tested, I don't think is going to be very strong. Um, I think he's going to be quite a bit slower than. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess I agree with you. He's not going to be. I'd put him at like maybe 15th would be a good run for him,
Oh yeah.
but I don't see him getting any higher than that
Yeah, he
unless
would.
it's like a something like last year where it's just fuel strategy. But
Now, my worry when Bourdais crashed, my thought was that he made the reason why he wasn't getting out of his car was because he had the same injury that Hinchcliffe had 2 years ago, where the suspension actually went through the tub and then pierced him in the thigh. That's what I was worried about.
yeah,
Now, thankfully, that's not what happened. It's a lot more. It's not even nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be because Hinchcliffe almost died that day.
yeah.
This time, I mean, I was worried that he was going to be close to death, but it's obviously nothing to be worried about. So
If you say so.
it's kind of
I
a
mean,
weird. It
yeah,
was pretty. Yeah, it was.
it's just a fractured pelvis. You'll be
Well,
fine.
I know it's like. I'm sorry,
Tell
but
him to suck it up. He'll be in the
it
500.
doesn't sound as bad as having the suspension pierce through you at
Yeah,
200 miles an hour.
yeah. That's. I mean, that's like how Art and Senna died. So that's a pretty big deal. But
Wait,
anyway,
how who died?
Ayrton Senna, however you say it. His first name's
Oh,
always a mouthful.
yeah. Well, all right. So I guess without, could have been on the pole, but you're starting last. All right. I don't really care to go over Zach Veach, rookie driving for AJ Foyt. I mean, maybe he'll be better in the next few years, but I mean, I'm not gonna. There's really nothing to say here.
Yeah, and he crashed in practice too. So
Oh, good luck to you. Oh, fuck, Saavedra. And I'm sorry, this guy sucks. Okay.
yeah, Do you remember? It was the 2014
Indy Grand Prix. He
Indy
was on the
Grand Prix where he
pole,
started on the pole and stalled it
and then
on the
someone ran into
launch,
him.
and then
How do
was
you? Yeah,
got drilled by like 3 different guys.
he's yeah.
That was
And every time
hilarious.
he wasn't in the 500 last year, but his finishes are always so abysmal. He's always crashing out. There's really no. I mean, if this guy gets into the top 20, I'll consider that a good day for him.
Yeah.
And the Juncos Racing. I don't think his teammate is Spencer Pigot, right? Or is it Pigot?
That's Pigot. I don't know.
All right, that's row 11. Hopefully we can move away. Okay, starting 30th on the outside of row 10 is Buddy Lazier. He won the Indy 500 in '96. This is his 20th time, I think, making the start. And I think his first start was in '91. So that's just to give you perspective on how long he's been there. He took like a 5-year break, I think, from 2008, from between the years 2008 and 2013. I thought he was just gonna. He came back in 2013. I just thought this was gonna be maybe a one-time thing, but every year he just keeps coming back, and I don't know why.
That Indy glory.
Stop. I think he runs like a ski resort in Colorado. I think he should just stick with that, honestly. Like, we get it, buddy. You had it. You used to be a great driver, but make some way for the next rookie in line. Really, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be unfiltered tonight. I'm not even gonna. I try to be nice usually, even to pay respects to the old legends, but I'm just not feeling it tonight.
We should get Morgan Shepherd in that car.
He is going to get lapped twice before.
Actually, they should get Jacques Villeneuve just so he can wreck half the field.
Let's see. So Lazier is going to be 2 laps down before lap 100. That's my prediction.
Yeah, probably with that car.
Or if he's even lucky to get to lap 100. It's not even going to be by crash. He's just going to have an engine go out or the electric system go out by lap 40. That's another possibility.
Yeah.
With a very high probability. And there's the other Juncos Racing car, Pigot. I'll give it this. My original thought was that that this was a tribute car to Tony Kanaan because it looks like the old 7-Eleven car.
Yeah.
That was my original thought, but I don't think so anymore. Yeah, he's obviously. I think either way, I don't expect much from him. And then there's Pippa Mann, who I think she's the only woman this time.
Yeah.
In the field. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I want to make
I don't know what to say about her. She has like a non-existent career in IndyCar.
I want to make some type of feminist joke, but I can't think of one right now.
About qualifying 28, that's a pretty good joke.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And that does it for row 10. Another rookie. Oh, Jack Harvey's with the Andretti. That's actually better. I mean,
Andretti has like 6 cars this race.
Yeah, and remember, a rookie with the Andretti won it last year, so
I wouldn't count on
do
it.
I think he would win? No, actually, but I mean, I'll at least say that he has a shot at the top 10. I don't think he has a very good shot, but he plays the race smart. I could see him moving up.
Yeah. Thing is, in recent years, qualifying is pretty indicative of like race pace. So like the people who qualify up front run up front like the entire race. You don't typically see somebody work their way from like mid to the rear of the pack up front.
I disagree with that. Tony Kanaan, I think, started 12th when he won it in 2013. Ryan Hunter-Reay started 19th when he won it in 2014.
I thought he started up farther than that.
No way. Nope. He started 19th. He worked his way up to the front really quickly, but he started in 19th.
All right. Mm-hmm.
I think Rossi started 10th, if I'm not
Well, yeah, Rossi did it on. I mean, I was kind of excluding that because the nature of that race. But
Well, Rossi had a top 10 car. Maybe it could have been a top 5 car, probably, maybe, but you know, a lot of it was luck. Oh, I'll get to Rossi later. Oh boy, fucking Connor Daly. Is he gonna crash again, or is he gonna have the mistake, or is he gonna do that thing where his car actually breaks down before before the green flag, like before lap 1 even begins? You
I
remember
think
that?
that no, that's gonna happen to Marco.
Don't remind me. And Gabi Chavez, who no, that's oh come on. If you're gonna have the '88 car, don't steal from Junior's design. They can do that now. I think they've been able to do that, but
Although they did steal from like Junior's qualifying routine, starting 25th. So maybe that was their own way of saluting him. It's like, hey, this is how you qualify every week.
I think they had like an onboard camera like on him like when he was qualifying. Like they usually reserve the onboard cameras for good drivers. I don't understand why they gave it to Gabby Chavez. I think it's a new team as well. Harding Racing. Never heard of it because it's new.
Yeah, it's probably one of those kind of like one-off indie teams.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing too. He's one of the AJ Floyd cars. Oh boy, that was a AJ Floyd's team, man. Like it is such a disappointment to see how his team does every year.
Yeah.
He could never catch a break.
When's the last time they won? Like Long Beach in 2013?
Yeah, with Takuma Sato.
I can't remember him winning after that. So
now this time the only driver that he has a hope with is Carlos Munoz, and I can see him moving up because remember Carlos Munoz is he's a 2-time runner-up, 2013 and 2016. He really was the fastest car last year. If you don't include Rossi, who was just lucky not to pit at the end.
yeah, he was quick. So
I don't know. I just think he's gonna catch the Floyd curse. That's kind of a weird thing to say, but I think he's soon gonna find out, at least at Indy, that AJ Floyd's team is not like Michael Andretti's team.
yeah.
You're on the bad end of the stick, Carlos.
Mm-hmm.
And I just realized now we're moving up to row 8, so kind of going through this quickly. Pagano, he's the champion, but that's because the majority of the races on the IndyCar schedule are on the road courses. He is not very good at the ovals, but he was really good at Phoenix though. But yeah, he did catch a lot of luck.
Anybody could have won Phoenix if the cautions came out, the way they did for Pagano. That was I already said that was like one of the worst IndyCar races I've ever seen, if not the worst. So it's like he had a caution come out that trapped all but 4 cars 2 laps down. It's like you automatically just eliminated, 3/4 of your competitors.
He's never really struck me as someone who's been competitive at Indy.
Yeah, well, what's surprising though is that like Penske generally was pretty terrible in qualifying this year.
Oh yeah, we'll get to those.
Willpower is the only one that was in the Fast 9.
Yeah. Castroneves wasn't even close. I think he was like 17th or 18th.
Yeah,
he's the strong one on that
qualifying effort I've seen from Penske in a while. So
I'm not expecting much from Penske. No elusive 17th this time, because Penske's won it 6. I think he's won it 16 times.
Yeah.
Unless he gets lucky, like with the fuel efficient, it becomes a fuel efficiency race. I don't really see anything for the Penske team.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, I think Castroneves will still be. I think he'll be in the top 5.
I don't know. Other than maybe that he almost won it in 2014, but really since he last won it in 2009, he's been almost a non-factor every year.
Let's see. Last year he had like a pit road accident, didn't he?
I
when he was
think.
running up front.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
2015. I don't remember what happened to him there.
I think in 2015, like he was out. I think he was like at the tail end of the top 10.
Yeah, I don't remember much about him in that race.
Here's the guy who got third last year, Joseph Newgarden, on a much better team, but same problem with. I think he is probably I'd consider him the second strongest for Indy on that Penske team, but behind Castroneves. But I don't know. I don't really. I mean, he's crashed one time already during practice, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he doesn't seem. The thing, it's hard to like gauge somebody's predictive success at Indy based on other ovals because Indy and Pocono are like the only two ovals you can pass at an Indy car. So, that it requires like a much seemingly different skill set because like Phoenix and like Milwaukee and some of the other places they used to go to, like there's really not a lot of passing. So I know like Newgarden won Milwaukee, or not Milwaukee. Crap, what's the name of it? Actually, maybe it was Milwaukee last year, but um, I don't know. Like, I don't think that's going to translate to Indy at all. So.
And now oh boy, here we go. Here we go.
If I
I
can.
was looking forward. All right, row 7 on the outside. The guy who I am like 99% sure is going to crash.
Yeah, I was about to say, do you think he's going to make it through turn 1?
He, I was impressed with him last year up until he crashed because that crash was entirely his fault.
Yeah, and
But
then 2015 he crashed on the first lap.
yeah, but that was Takuma Sato's fault.
Yeah, but still, it's.
But I mean, he worked his way from the back to get like to the 4th position up until he crashed. I think on at like the midway point.
Yeah. I
That was
can't even
just him.
remember that.
Yeah, he was racing with Townsend Bell, who I'm really disappointed is not in this. Who's not racing this year because he tends to be one of the underdogs that is always a factor late in the race, but is just but always has something go wrong for him.
Yeah.
But Karam, I mean, I think just like last year, like he doesn't run full time anymore. I think he just runs at Indy now, and that's it.
Yeah, he kind of like lost his full-time ride when he like
He
killed
kept
Justin
crashing at
Wilson.
Ganassi.
Yeah. And he was like crashing from the lead at Pocono and
That
just
was what
did
led
that
to
like every
Justin.
week.
That was
Yeah.
part of the Justin Wilson fatal crash. Yeah.
Yep. So.
And then, Jay Howard, he was a rookie, I think, in 2011. He's taken like a 6-year break from the sport, and now all of a sudden he's back. The Sam Schmidt Peterson team. I don't know. I think the general lack of experience is going to be his detriment.
Yeah, and Schmidt Peterson's like.
They're nothing since Pagano left.
Yeah.
And here we go, Helio Castroneves. Well, 19th is where Hunter Ray won it 3 years ago, but I don't see it.
Yeah, it's just like Penske's like they're much slower than I remember them being in qualifying. So it's like it's really bizarre. I mean, they didn't just qualify like barely outside the Fast 9. They're like deep in the field. It's just I can't remember the last time I've ever seen that from them. So
I think this is going to be Castroneves' 17th start, if I'm not mistaken. He was a rookie in 2001. That's when he won it the first time. Still, and I think this is going to be the 9th year in a row. Oh, I'm sorry, the 7th. No, sorry, what am I saying? This is the 8th year in a row he's chasing that 4th title. He's trying to become the first non-American to get into the 4 win club.
yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of surprised like he still has a job at Penske, but
Penske, yeah. I mean, seems like Pagano is really the future of Penske.
Like him and Newgarden, definitely.
Yeah.
Although willpower is still really strong.
Yeah. Maybe Castroneves is there just I don't know.
I don't know. I don't get why they
He's
kept
there.
Castroneves and got rid of Montoya full time anyway. Because Montoya, I mean, he almost won the championship in 2015,
Yeah.
and then they just got rid of him.
Maybe Castroneves is just there for nostalgia, you know.
I don't know. I think
It's
it's
kind of throwback to the glory days of the early 2000s. Those are the best years for Penske.
yeah.
And to sixth, there it is, Montoya. I think he is he the. I think no, sorry. Other than power, so he's for the Penske team. He has the second highest starting spot with the Penske team. Um, so this is going to be his fifth Indy 500, and he's already a two-time winner. So I mean, from that perspective, you'd think maybe he'd be a competitor, but I don't know. I think considering he's only doing a part-time schedule, I can't really picture him being a factor.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. But I don't know. I mean, he is one of the best at 500-mile races in IndyCar, so we'll see.
Hinch, another again, he's also on the Schmidt Peterson team. Not, I mean, pole sitter last year, but I was kind of he was pretty disappointing this time around at the
Yeah, well, it's surprising to see
at
how
the
much the
qualifying.
pendulum was swung
Yeah,
between this year and last year. Because like Ganassi last year didn't qualify very well at all, and then this year, they're very strong. So um, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not expecting much from Hinchcliffe in the 500 anyway. I just like he doesn't strike me as like a very or like a regular contender there, I guess. But I don't know.
okay, I got the beach ball of death right now, so I can't actually move up. You have to give it a minute.
Okay.
God damn, computer. That's half. That's more than half the field already. Is there really anybody in that bottom half that you actually see as a possible contender for a win? I mean, even the Penske guys. I mean, maybe I would say Newgarden out of the bottom half is probably the guy most likely to win it. That's at least my take.
Yeah, I'd probably pick Montoya over him, but when he's only with like a provisional team, I don't think so.
I think people tend to. Well, I think here's the lowest starting guy on the Ganassi team,
He's
Charlie
always the
Kimball.
lowest starting Ganassi guy.
You cannot count Chip Ganassi. Sorry, you cannot count Charlie Kimball out, and I'll say, and it's for this reason. He finished third in 2015, and he finished fifth last year. So he has two top five finishes in a row.
Yeah, but he's terrible. I mean, I don't, I don't know. I don't. He's one of those guys I don't understand why he's at Chip Ganassi either. Like, I actually don't even understand. Like, Scott Dixon obviously makes sense, but why the hell do they have Tony Kanaan still there or Charlie Kimball?
Hey,
Um,
Charlie, like I said, Charlie
and then Max
Kimball,
Chilton.
Max Chilton definitely, but Charlie Kimball's good at the 500. You can't really deny that.
He won 2 races. What has he done? How many times has he raced it?
Six.
What are his other finishes?
Not very good.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I
I
mean,
really don't count
I'm not
last
saying for
year.
the win. I'm not saying for the win per se, but
Well,
top
yeah, I
five
mean,
again.
he might be like fifth, fifth through 10th, probably, but yeah, I don't see him. I don't see him ever winning a race in IndyCar, but
He
let's
has
hope
already
he gets.
won a race in IndyCar.
Has he?
Yeah, he's got. I think he won at Mid Ohio one time.
I don't remember that. Well,
And
anyway,
speak. All right,
just shows how qualified I am for this.
all right. Row 5 outside. It's Chilton. I don't really want to talk much about Chilton because I kind of think it's amazing he qualified in the front and the top half.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty much the car, I'm guessing.
I don't understand. I mean, I get it. It makes sense. It's a rational decision to fire Sage Karam, but for fuck's sake, get a better replacement.
Yeah. Chip can. I mean, just like think about it. Like Penske has Willpower, who's still very good. Joseph Newgarden's obviously very good. Like Pagano's really good on road courses, and then Castro Neves is like, whatever. Whereas like Chip Ganassi, they have Scott Dixon, and that's it. Like how I don't understand how they expect to beat Penske consistently every season when they only have one driver on. They only have one real driver on their team. But
Yeah. Middle is Graham Rahal, who has actually been pretty good the last couple of years. I think he finished fifth in 2015, and I have to, I thought I'm just gonna look up Graham Rahal right here. I forgot his finishing position last year in last year's 500, but I think it was in the top 10.
uh,
Rahal's been getting a lot better lately. Like he used to struggle all the time at the Indy 500. He'd always crash or he'd have a mechanical breakdown. Oh, he finished 14th. Never mind. But man, look
well,
at
I really don't. I don't count last year too much against somebody's general trend just because of the way that the race played out, where so many people were running out of fuel
yeah, but I
or
mean,
having to save dramatically.
like
So
in this is in his previous 9 starts, he's finished last place twice, 2008 and 2014.
hmm.
He crashed in two. I remember that he crashed in 2009, and I think he also crashed in 2013 as well. Oh, oh, by the way, remember when he used Trace for Ganassi?
Yeah, that was like way back
Yeah, but it's when he
when
got
he
his great.
started.
It's when he got a third place finish in 2011.
Yeah.
And starting, oh boy, here we go. Starting on the inside of row 5, it's Mikhail Voloshin, the lone Russian who really fucked it up at Phoenix by he was the catalyst that led to that big 5-car crash at the.
Yeah, on turn one, lap one. Yeah,
He's obviously a stooge for Putin to wreck IndyCar racing.
right. Although that was like really the only excitement of the entire race. So you got to give
Took
it to
out
him
Marco
there.
Andretti. I was really pissed off about that.
I couldn't believe that. I was laughing out loud when it happened. When you see like all these other drivers skate by and then Marco just like worst possible circumstances gets
Uh,
wrecked right at the beginning.
Graham Rahal, I think, got wrecked in that as well. Like he tried to thread the needle between two
Yeah.
cars, and it did not work out at all.
Yeah. But that was like Marco's like what fourth consecutive DNF or something.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not DNF, but like terrible finish, like 20th or something.
I think he started off the year like with I think he finished 7th in the first race.
In St. Pete, I thought he wrecked there.
No, I think he had one good finish this year.
I don't think it was St. Pete. I'm pretty sure he wrecked or something there. He also had a problem at Long Beach, and then Phoenix. I don't remember. Might have been Barber. No, Barber. He also like had an engine problem. I
I
can't
don't
even.
know.
Yeah, his season is just a comedy of errors so far.
Regarding Galoshin, I don't know. Like he just seems like someone who's going to crash, doesn't he? Like if there's just any guy you're going to predict who's going to crash, like it was
I'd
so
predict
easy.
Takuma Sato over him, but
And Sage Karam, obviously.
yeah. If they all three of them get next to each other in the race, then you can bet on all three of them going out. But
I bet they're going to go 3 wide into turn 1,
probably,
and they'll all take each other out, and probably 5 other cars behind them.
including Marco.
Yeah, including Marco.
It's
And
gonna
I'm
be
gonna get so angry, I'm gonna chuck the remote through the TV screen.
Marco will be like in the pits when it happens, but like debris will come out and like puncture a tire or something, and he'll crash.
Mm-hmm. And he's also with the Ray Hall Letterman Lanigan team, Oriole Serbia. We're now in row four. He definitely did a lot. He wasn't very good the first day of qualifying, but when he went out the second time, he made a drastic improvement because he was like in the mid 20s, like on the pylon for the
Yeah.
first day, the Saturday of qualifying.
Yeah, I think a lot of people picked up a lot from Saturday to Sunday.
Serbia's kind of at a strain. I don't know. Regarding his history at Indy, he's been on some good teams. He's been on some bad teams, but he's been like in the top five a few times. But I mean, I can't really see him being a factor. This is a good starting position for him, but I don't really seeing it. I don't see it translating it into anything else.
Yeah. I mean, I've pretty much I have like all but 5 people written off for this race anyway, so.
We'll get to that later. 11th is, here's what I actually wanted to go a little bit more into detail of. Ed Jones. He did good on both days of qualifying.
Yeah.
He's a rookie. I keep saying it. That Dale Coyne racing team has some good machinery this time around.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
Honda threw him a bone or something.
definitely. I think he's going to be the first driver from even though he's British, he technically lives in the UAE, so he'd be the first guy from the UAE to race at Indy.
Hmm. I did not know that.
He's got a good, I think he can work his way up to the top five early in the race. I would not be shocked if he led some laps. If there's any rookie that has the best shot at winning, it's obviously him.
I'd actually put Alonso over him, but
No, here's my crazy prediction. I think that Ed Jones will have a higher finishing position than Fernando Alonso.
well, I disagree, but I guess we can talk about that more when we get to Alonso.
Oh no, I'll wait for Sunday. I'm gonna have so much fun when that happens, and I'm gonna play this clip right back at you just to rub it in.
Yeah, well, okay. I'll remember to save it so when I'm right.
Oh yeah. And 10th, we're about to go into the Fast Nine. Ryan Hunter-Reay, who this is at least just me, but he is my prediction. He is the guy I predict to win the race.
I don't, because that team has been struggling week in and week out pretty severely, and I don't think they fixed it yet. So I think it's
There's
going to continue at Indy.
but there's been a lot of other great drivers who struggled throughout the rest of the year, but won at Indy. Dario Franchitti did that in 2012. He struggled throughout the entire year, but he got that one win at Indy.
Yeah,
So
well, it's
I can
also
see.
because I don't like Ryan Hunter-Reay, and I just don't want him to win, I guess.
Oh, I don't
But
want him to win. I don't like Ryan Hunter that much either, but I just think he's going to win because he's always competitive at Indy. He's always got a car that could win. He could have won it last year if it wasn't for that pit road incident.
yeah, that was Townsend Bell, wasn't it?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
know it's Townsend Bell's fault, too.
yeah. Well,
Like I said, I think he can work his way up pretty quickly, and then he'll
although
just.
you also have to consider that like an Andretti Autosports has had so many engine problems this year. I mean, God, it's got to be on average like 1 or 2 a race. I know at Long Beach they had all of their cars retire, if I remember correctly. Hunter-Reay had problems at Phoenix. Like Marco had them at Barber and St. Pete, I think. Like he had like a transmission issue at both races. So
You can't say this. I can't say this enough, though. Indy's a lot different than those other races. That's the thing.
well, maybe I don't know. I mean, Indy, it really is like a hard track to predict anyway. But it's sort of the most sporadic and spontaneous race of the season. But
All right, finally to the Fast Nine. Will Power, who had the only guy on the Penske team to get into the Fast Nine, and he had the slowest time in the Fast Nine.
yeah, I like he was
He does
good
not.
in. Actually, I don't remember how he ran last year. I know he finished second in 2015.
Just behind Juan Pablo Montoya. That is literally the only time he has really been a factor at Indy.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't remember him being that good there. So,
Yeah, no, he's not. Look, I mean, he got 10. Okay, he's got 3 straight top tens at Indy going into this year's event. But I mean, that's going with a 10th place finish in a fuel efficiency race last year.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't expect much from him, but then again, he's the kind of guy who kind of comes out of nowhere when you don't expect it. So we'll
No,
see.
I think he's going to fall. I think he's going to be outside the top 15.
I think it's too harsh. I think he'll be like 10th. Actually, I think he'll be like 9th or 10th probably. I mean,
Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll see what happens Sunday. All right. Eighth is all right. You're gonna give me so much shit. Rooting for Marco again. I really want to see the Andretti curse end. I really want to see that happen. And the clock's running out, and I think Marco Andretti is really the last chance of it happening. But
yeah,
you know,
it'd be cool to see Marco win, but I mean, he's just like I don't even know what to say about that team at this point. That team is like so just ignominious week in week out. That
he has been great through practice. He's been one of the fastest cars, always consistently up top 5 on the charts.
yeah, well,
You can say that much. He looks good going into the race, but he doesn't look good if you look at the context. If your context is looking at the entire season.
yeah,
But yeah, he's always a top. Even if he struggles throughout the rest of the year, he always has a top 10 car at Indy. Usually a top 5 car at Indy.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, it would be pretty cool to see him. It'd be really cool to see him win. I don't, but I'm not actually counting on it.
I think people. I mean, I don't think it's fair to write him off so easily, though. I'm just going to say that.
All right. Well, we'll know in a couple of days.
Kanan, starting 7th. I think it's the same thing regarding. I keep saying about Andretti. Kanan was a struggling driver before he won it in 2013. No one really thought he was going to be a factor for that 2013 race. Everyone just kind of thought, he's a struggling driver. Don't really look to him.
Wait, but didn't he win a championship at
In
one point?
2004.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess that is too far apart. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
He went through a lot of frustration just to get that first one. I think he's now going to have to go through 12 more years of frustration just to get that second one.
I'm surprised he hasn't retired yet, but
Oh yeah, I'm the same boat. He did good last year. He did a lot better than I expected last year.
I'm guessing it's just because nobody wants to drive IndyCar or something, and that's why like all of these terrible drivers stick. Not that he's really terrible, but he's certainly washed up, and it's like I can't understand why all of these drivers are still in IndyCar when surely there's like more talent out there, but I guess not. Something.
Come on, Kyle Larson, do the double duty.
Yeah, I would love that, man. Chip Ganassi has been pretty strict about that. I mean, yeah.
Trying to move up. Got the beach ball of death again. That's wonderful. All right, here is somebody I am definitely not going to count out. J.R. Hildebrand. And the reason I say that is he has finished in the top 10. He has finished in the top 10 3 years in a row at the Indy 500. He's on a very fast Ed Carpenter racing team.
Yep.
And I think last year, I think going into the final restart, he was in third, and I think he ended up finishing sixth after the pit stops.
Yeah,
But he you
the
put him
only
in.
thing people know him for though is the biggest choke in the history of probably sports in 2011. So
I still feel bad for him about that, but
yeah, I know it's
he
hard to
already
watch.
shows that he has talent. He has talent. I'll say that
Yeah,
much.
no, I agree. It's just that guy that's so painful to watch. I mean,
It
it's like
is.
there are few chokes in any sport that are more difficult to tolerate than that one.
His Hildebrand's actually a really smart guy. I think he
Yeah,
has like an engineering degree from like one of the prestigious universities. I think it's MIT.
yeah. Apparently, like he's a lecturer at Stanford when he's not racing. They're talking about that during one of the practice. I think it's actually probably qualifying that they mentioned that. So that's kind of
I remember hearing that. Maybe okay. Yeah, I got time.
I was quite surprised to learn all that about him.
Yeah, look at that. See, 10th, 8th, 6th. He's getting progressively better as time goes on.
You know,
Um, Personal. Look at that. Yeah, graduated from high school with a 4.12 GPA.
yeah.
And let's see. He was accepted by several top universities. MIT granted a 3-year deferral, but oh, he actually never looks like did he ever go to college? I think he passed it up just to pursue a racing career, but maybe like when he lectures at Stanford, it's not okay. Maybe
Maybe
is
it's
he
like
on,
here's how to choke in the Indy 500.
maybe it's not like professional lecturer. Maybe it's just like guest lecturer. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. All they said was lecturer at Stanford, so I didn't know what to make of that. I didn't think that meant he was a professor. I thought it was like some kind of more minor occupation. But
I'm not sure if I've told you the story, but my uncle's one of my uncle's best friends, his brother-in-law is Buddy Rice, who won the Indy 500 in 2004. He was actually teammates with J.R. Hildebrand, like the race that he choked. They were both racing on the Panther racing team.
huh.
Well, funny story is like that. My uncle's friend actually, he was actually with J.R. Hildebrand like before the race started. Like they all drove to the speedway together, and then left the speedway together.
Hmm.
So I know. So I kind of know a little. I mean, I talked to the guy because I actually know the guy. Like I talked to him one time, like after that race, like, and I'm just like, man, and what was it like? And they told me like, he was very devastated, but all the other drivers, tried to cheer him up about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least he finished second. That's like
Yeah,
that's.
but I mean,
Although it probably doesn't matter really. Like when you give up the lead like that in turn 4 on lap 200.
biggest choke in history. It's still, I think, I still consider that my favorite Indy 500 race. I hope he wins it too, just at some point in his future. I think he really, because you don't want that going like it. You don't want that to be his legacy.
Yeah. Well, I think it's probably too late for that, but
I mean, if he wins, he cancels it out. He rewrites his legacy in a better image.
possibly. I don't know.
All right. Here's one you've been waiting for. Fernando Alonso.
Yeah, Mr. Hot Hands,
He's
Mr.
he's he's been doing a lot better than I thought he was going to do, at least through practice and qualifying.
Yeah, well, I know we never talked about it, but I didn't really doubt that he was going to do well. I mean, I'm pretty hesitant to say that he's got a shot at winning it, only because I don't know, like with some of the other people in the field, like they're going to be really tough for him to beat. I mean, like Alonso is very deserving of his reputation as like one of the best in the world because like if you look at his F1 career, it's pretty impressive.
I think you can liken this Indy 500 run to Nigel Mansell's run in '93.
Yeah, Yeah.
Nigel Mansell was leading the race up until 15 laps to go when Emerson Fittipaldi passed him on the restart.
Yeah.
Which is, I think I think that could be a big struggle for Alonso. I don't think he's not really used to these rolling restarts, you know.
Yeah. Although, like in F1, he's like the best at standing starts out there. But yeah, it's not really gonna matter here.
Oh
But I
no,
don't know. He's exceptionally talented. I don't see how that's not gonna translate to results in this race. And he's with probably one of the 2 or 3 best teams at Indy. So
it would be funny as if he crashed and finished 33rd.
yeah, I mean,
And I played this clip
part
of
of me
you
wants
saying
something
that.
like that to happen because I hate the way like F1 fans have turned into motorsports snobs over this whole ordeal, and it's sort of infuriating. So I sort of want him
To
to
fail,
suffer.
just
Yeah,
to shoot it right back in those faces. Yeah,
yeah. The number of people I've seen like, oh my god, they're just turning left. This is so boring. I'm like, I want to strangle you.
yeah. No, I know. All right, here's the next one. Sato.
Yes.
He traded cars with Munoz. I think Munoz used to drive the 26 side of the 14. Now it's Munoz in the 14th. He's in the 26.
Yeah.
He was the second fastest on the Saturday qualifying run. Now he's he's going to go fourth um, on Sunday. I mean,
I'm glad he's not starting in the same row as Scott Dixon. That was my biggest relief.
yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, I remember. The guy, especially if you look at that 2015 race, he raced like a clown the entire race. He was cutting off everybody. He was always um, he was always treading the line really close, like to any other rival competitor, and it was always a risk at putting them in the wall. Put Sage Karam on the wall right at the beginning.
Yeah, which is hilarious, but I don't know. I think he's actually sort of improved over the last few years generally because he used to wreck like every race, not even just Indy. It was like every week when he was with AJ Foyt, he was wrecking. And now it seems like he can at least make it to the finish. Although I don't see him being much of a contender at Indy. But I know he had that one kind of bold attempt in, what was it, 2012?
12. That was yeah, he came close, and I thought he made the right decision. I don't think he was really going to have any luck passing him going into turn 3. So I think the only chance he really had at passing Dario Franchitti that year was coming into turn 1.
Yeah. But
It's the weird way Indy is. Like it's really hard to pass going into 3, but it's really easy going into 1.
yeah, I don't know. He hasn't impressed me enough on ovals generally, or even on road courses, or like in any way for me to think that I need to consider him.
Hey,
Flying Sunday.
here's a little trivia question for you. What guess his age?
I'd probably put him in his 40s somewhere.
Really? Oh wow! Because you're right. He's 40.
Yeah, because I know he used to race F1 in like the early 2000s.
Okay, I was kind of hoping you didn't know that because
Yeah,
like
he had to have been like mid-20s then.
because he looks a lot younger on TV.
Yeah.
Because he's Japanese, you know.
Yeah, obviously. They have a secret power, some kind of cultural tradition. Yeah, well, I guess that's probably enough about him, but
Counting him direct. That's all I can say.
yeah.
I definitely more likely to wreck. I don't know. Maybe if he doesn't wreck, I don't really see him sticking around the top 5. That's all I'm gonna say.
No.
All right, to the front row, and I'll say, oh, sorry, not Carpet Rossi. I'm gonna say this, if Alexander Rossi is trying to prove that he's not Trevor Bayne, that he's not going to be this guy who's going to win the big race and then fall apart after that, he's at least made a good start.
Yeah, well, he had several good runs earlier this season that were met with engine failures, but at least he ran well. And I actually, yeah, I mean, like his win still took skill. I mean, it's not like he completely lucked into it or anything. But yeah, for him qualifying third, he's definitely got a good car. I
He's
think
definitely going above my expectations.
Yeah, I think he'll be.
He's oh yeah.
I think he'll run like probably top 3 most of the race.
I think he'll lead a lot of laps too. Another guy who shocked me was the guy who's starting in the middle of the front row, Carpenter.
Yeah, like where did that come from?
I thought Carpenter's best chance was in 2014, and that's the year that he got into it with Hinchcliffe going into turn 1. They went 3 wide. It was Hinchcliffe, Carpenter, and Townsend Bell that went 3 wide into turn 1 on one of the restarts. When I saw that crash, I thought, well, there goes Carpenter's last chance to win the 500, because he struggled the last couple of years. I mean, he can work his way up at Indy, and he's a good oval track racer. But I kind of just figured 2014 was going to be his last good year.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's always struck me as like a pretty talented oval racer. IndyCar. He's definitely not with the best team, which kind of speaks
his own team. It's his own team.
Yeah, but I'm saying his team really isn't that great. So for him to get second in qualifying is actually pretty damn impressive.
And he was
the fastest. Hildebrand to be wherever it was 6th or something.
He was also the fastest on the Saturday qualifying run.
Yeah, although I think part of that was just track conditions, but anyway.
It's a fair point, because he was one of the last guys to go out when the sun was going down. And of course, the guy you want to win. Do you think I'm just going to ask. Do you think he's going to win?
I think he stands a very good chance of it. Because he had a pretty terrible car last year. But the year before that, he probably had the best car if it wasn't for overheating issues late in the race. And he runs exceptionally well at Indianapolis.
This is his third time he's on the pole. He got the pole in 2008 and 2015.
Yeah. So I think he stands a very good chance of winning it.
It's gonna be he always stands a chance to win it, and I do expect him to lead the first few laps. I think he'll probably be swapping the lead back and forth with Carpenter or with Alexander Rossi. That's usually how it starts, but I don't know. I think he just needs to, do the standard, thing that most winners at Indy do, just be the guy who's in the top 2 or the top 3 with 10 laps to go. And that's usually where we find Scott Dixon.
Yeah.
The problem is he's usually never that guy in the lead at that time. He's always that guy either in second or third place trying to catch up.
Yeah. But I don't know. I like that car is really strong. It seems. He was like as far as qualifying goes, he was a fair bit faster than most people. And also, he's going to have he's got a really solid team around him.
And he was up. Look at it. Yeah, he is. He's not only is he the fastest guy, but he's kind of the fastest guy by a country mile. If you at least look at it in terms of Indy, like what's a general Indy speed.
He was like half a mile an hour at least.
Half a mile, yeah. Then Carpenter, exactly.
For the pole, especially at Indianapolis, that's a pretty big margin. So I'm pretty optimistic about it.
Actually, no, it's exactly a half a mile an hour quicker. 231.664, 232.164.
Yeah.
Only guy to go at over 232, by the way.
Yep.
I don't know. So I still stand with Hunter Ray. I think it will be Hunter Ray. I think Dixon will either finish second or third.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough to swallow if Hunter Ray wins and Dixon gets second. Hunter is probably like one of my
It'll
least
probably
favorite.
make you lose faith in the Indy 500 if you see that happen.
Yeah, it might.
Who would you absolutely hate to see win it?
Um, Probably Hunter or Pagano, I think.
I would absolutely hate if it was Pagano. I'm still trying. I don't know. I'm trying to go through, scroll down. Like, is there really anybody who I just couldn't stand to win it? There's a few other guys. I would like to see If it's not Marco Andretti, I wouldn't mind seeing Ed Carpenter win it.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
I think. I don't know. I really, really, really wouldn't like to see Rossi win it again because I don't know. I don't really like two guys who win it 2 times in a row.
I wouldn't mind. I kind of like Rossi, but yeah, I'm really I don't know. Maybe I'm like deluding myself, but I'm very optimistic about Dixon's chances.
I think I would. I don't know. I can. I think I would. I would not like it very much if Montoya won it again.
Yeah, I wouldn't either, but I don't really expect him to, so I'm not too anxious about that.
And I guess I wouldn't like to see Connor Daly win it just because I'd feel really stupid about shit talking him earlier.
Well, you could just delete this broadcast.
Yeah, that's true. So, oh god, that's a pipe dream though.
Thing is, like, I don't have anything against Fernando Alonso, but if he won, you would never hear the end of it from F1 fans, and I don't know if I could tolerate that. So
I think I'm gonna. I think vote.
yeah, because I actually want him to do well, but at the same time, I know if he does well, then F1 fans are going to be convinced that like all of American racing is a joke. So
It still means something to me, but that's just me. But anyway, I think that was pretty good. At least we actually did get through all 33 drivers, but we kind of skimmed through most of them, which kind of made it go by a lot quicker.
yeah.
All right, we'll see what happens on Sunday. I still hold that Ed Jones will beat Fernando Alonso. I still
All right,
hold.
that's our bet then.
Oh yeah,
Let it be known.
damn right.